Welcome back to Part 2, where Dr. Barbara O'Neill continues to reveal the surprising foods that can help starve cancer cells. These next few items may completely change the way you think about your diet and health. 3. Nightshade Vegetables.
That's good news. And he said, and I've worked out the problem. To me, that was even better news. Because who's the doctor? We are. We are. I said, what was the problem? He said, I was drinking nothing between meals and I was drinking almost a whole litre of water with every meal. So I want to show you what was happening in his gut. So what was happening in his gut, he's drinking nothing between meals, which means the lining to his gut is very thin, which means the hydrochloric acid is breaking down the tissues. And remember, the bacteria is an opportunist organism. And so what happened is the body started to, its own microorganisms changed role and came to the cleanup team, remember the garbage collectors, and they started to clean up the dead tissue, and their name was called Helicobacter pylori. See why you have to ask why are they there? No wonder they find Helicobacter pylori in every case of stomach ulcer. They're there to clean up the mess. Now, as God would have it, when we smell food and we start to chew food, hydrochloric acid, here's hydrochloric acid is released. And hydrochloric acid connects with pepsinogen to release pepsin, which breaks down protein, but hydrochloric acid does something else. It's antifungal, antibacterial. And so it has the ability to wipe out these guys. And just as hydraulic acid is considering going down and wiping these guys out, he has a big glass of water. And what does water do to hydrochloric acid? It just dilutes it. So Helicobacter pylori is chomping away at the dead tissue and it goes, whew, that was close. Chomp, chomp, chomp. What this man discovered is that he was drinking water at the wrong time. Do you remember I said to you earlier, I said, how much water do you drink a day? And he said 2 litres. And because he was a little bit abrasive with all his answers, I decided not to push it anymore. So now he drank early in the morning. He stopped drinking half an hour before his meal. That half an hour before the meal immediately thickened that mucosa wall. The water he had the day before, the hydrochloric acid that's made in the liver. So let's have a look at what's happening now. Now being at the health retreat, he's drinking water at the right time between meals. His mucosa wall is getting thick. And then when he eats his meal, hydrochloric acid, which is not being watered down anymore, comes down and wipes out Helicobacter pylori. What a wonderful process. Who healed him? His body healed itself when given the right conditions. When someone comes to me with Helicobacter pylori, one of the first things I do is increase their hydrochloric acid. Because if you increase the hydrochloric acid, remember what one of its roles is? Anti-yeast, antifungal. Now, I'm not criticising the doctors that discovered that Helicobacter pylori causes stomach ulcer. It is there. It does play a role. But why is it there? Can you see that? And unfortunately, on the board that awards Nobel Prizes, there are representatives from the pharmaceutical companies. So go any further there, and I certainly am not saying people that get Nobel Prizes don't deserve it. Absolutely they do, because of their great work. But I'm just presenting you the facts. I'm just giving you the basic anatomy and physiology. So this man who'd had stomach pain for 25 years found relief by just drinking water at the right time, which allowed his body to heal itself. Dr. Batman Geheldind, we'll call him Dr. B, he found the first place that we lose water is the lining of the gastrointestinal tract. He also found that if you go down the gastrointestinal tract, you come to the pancreas. And the pancreas releases
a common nutrient, potassium, found in these nightshade vegetables, aids in neutralizing excess acid in cells through urine excretion, reducing overall acidity and promoting a more alkaline internal environment, which is beneficial for cancer prevention and overall health. 4. Legumes.
Into the blood to help balance blood sugar levels. That's your insulin and your glucagon. But if you're dehydrated, those hormones aren't being made as they should be.
Legumes are a rich source of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which are essential for cellular health and cancer prevention. They contain B vitamins, which balance pH levels, aid in energy production, and promote detoxification. Their fiber content aids in detoxification and alkalization, while magnesium neutralizes acidity. Consuming legumes daily, typically half a cup of cooked legumes, can help achieve these benefits. 5. Millets.
That can be a contributing factor to diabetes. He also discovered that there are hormones released from the pancreas to finalize digestion. So there's paste to finalize fat digestion. There's pancreatic amylase, that's what finalizes starch digestion. There's trypsin and chyme.
Millets are a nutritious grain with a unique nutrient profile, rich in alkaline minerals like magnesium and potassium. These minerals help neutralize excess acids in the body, promoting a balanced pH. Millet also contains antioxidants and phytochemicals that reduce oxidative stress and inflammation, which are linked to cancer development. Millet can be cooked as a side dish, salad base, or incorporated into soups and stews. Millet porridge is a popular breakfast option. Dr. Barbara O'Neill shares surprising facts about the role of an alkaline diet against cancer, challenging traditional knowledge about food and cancer management. Please share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more enlightening content. 6. Quinoa.
Finalize protein digestion. Now, they're all made out of water. If you don't have enough water, your digestion will be compromised. At every stage, water is needed.
Quinoa is a nutritious food rich in minerals like magnesium and potassium, which help maintain a balanced pH and reduce inflammation. It also contains antioxidants like quercetin and kaempferol, which can fight cancer. Quinoa can be used in salads, side dishes, soups, stews, and as a breakfast cereal. For optimal health benefits, aim to consume 1/2 to 1 cup of cooked quinoa daily, providing essential nutrients and maintaining a balanced pH. 7. Amaranth.
Function. So no wonder Dr. Beat entitled his book, when a person has a symptom of disease, he says, must be one of the body's many cries for water. That's the title of his book. Our brain cells shrink when they don't have enough water. Headaches are common when we don't have enough. Negative thought patterns can develop when our brain cells don't have enough water. I can get my hand to go in and out like
Amaranth, which is an ancient grain with a rich nutrient profile, is beneficial for maintaining cellular pH due to its calcium content and complete amino acid profile. It can be used as a side dish, added to soups and stews, or as a base for salads. Its unique properties make it a valuable addition to any diet. 8. Spelt and kamut.
Because around every joint there's fluid. And that fluid is synovial fluid, and it is 99% water. In a state of dehydration, the body can take some water from there to maintain full blood volume in the major arteries and veins. And so if I have pain in there, maybe it's called arthritis, but actually maybe it's just a state of dehydration. Our eyeball moves around in water. So we need water at every single step. Also, our lungs. Now, at the bottom of our lungs, I'll draw you a small picture of our lungs so that you'll understand this. So here's our lungs here. That's one lung. So your trachea splits and comes down, and then it splits again into little bronchioles. It's quite a process. And then at the end of every bronchiole, looks like a little bunch of grapes, but they're alveoli. So at the end of the bronchioles, you've got the alveoli, and this is where the gaseous exchange takes place. Over every alveoli, there's a little blood capillary network, and it is in that blood capillary network where the oxygen is picked up from the alveoli, and the blood drops the carbon dioxide and we breathe out. In every alveoli, there's a minuscule droplet of water. And because of the surface tension of water, when you breathe out, that little alveoli collapses, which allows all the carbon dioxide, the majority of it, to be breathed out, so that now when you breathe in, you can breathe in more oxygen. In a state of dehydration, that little droplet of water is not as it should be, which means that doesn't totally collapse when you breathe out, which means you can't get your full quota of oxygen. But what also happens, the body, to prevent the water loss, it can start constricting the little bronchioles so that we don't lose water. And so one of the signs of dehydration can be constricted breathing. The blood gets very thick in dehydration. Our blood needs to be nice and thin so the heart can pump it easily, so that the little filtering units in our kidneys can filter it with ease. So water is needed for every single body function. I'm going to give you a story of a man that came to our retreat who had 3 main problems. He had chronic headaches, which he took a lot of painkillers for. He had a very congested chest, and also he had terrible lower back pain. Did you know that 75% of weight held in your lower back is held by water? The other percentage, of course, is taken with your ligaments, your muscles. And so a state of dehydration, lower back pain is quite common. So that's what this man had. And when I was consulting with him,
Spelt and kamut are ancient grains that offer cancer protection due to their alkalizing effects. Spelt is a higher protein and nutrient variety of wheat, rich in minerals like magnesium, potassium, and iron. It helps neutralize excess acids, promoting a balanced pH level. Kamut, another ancient grain, has a rich nutrient profile. Both can be used like whole grain bread and pasta, but processed grains should be avoided due to their sugar content.